You have such a catalog, and one thing we talked about when we were grabbing coffee was it's almost you released basically something every year. So maybe not a studio album, but it was started out with Tinta y Papel.
Sure.
And I'm probably not saying that
as
great as
That's
I could.
Good.
And then Step Into My Place.
Sure.
And then it was what, Live at Blueberry Hill or Beautiful?
We did Rococo EP into Beautiful, but that was pretty much on the same year. So it was
gotcha.
it was Tinta Papel. Then we did Step Into My Place, Beautiful. Then we did Live at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah, so that was released that year.
That was 2002.
That was a double, right?
Doubles. And then we did Matter of Time 2003. 2004, I think I did.
Or was it Matter of Time 2004?
No, that was 2003.
Okay.
And then 2004, I think that was the kind of turmoil. We were ending the band. I didn't know. And so I released an album 2005 called A Solas, which means alone.
Okay.
It was my first, solo record.
Interesting. You've always reflected your life into the solo. Sure. So that makes perfect sense.
So and those
had I known my Spanish, I would have understood that story better when it was happening.
Half of that album were B-sides from my first ever release.
Okay.
So then I released those. So there was kind of a relation to that. It was there were almost like bookends to it. And then after that, I'd play. Then after A Solas, I did the Sun Motel project.
Okay, yeah.
And then after the Sun Motel project, I did the Javier Mendoza self-titled that was actually one of my most successful albums.
And that had Blood in the Water.
Julianne.
So many other good songs.
Had Always There. Had Night in Cusco. So a lot of good stuff. Yeah. And then
it was Two and You after that.
And that was Two and You, which that was actually my first album that Javier Mendoza was already with Jacob, so I kind of started working with Jacob, and You and Two was actually released by their record label, Red Pill.
Okay.
And that was You and Two. And then after that, that's when it was 2000, and that's when I did The Reserve. And The Reserve, then I was in the middle of moving to Nashville. Yeah. And so The Reserve was the end of my last St. Louis kind of thing. And then, no, I'm lying. I did If You Dare, then Vida Trabajo Amor.
How did I forget If You Dare? Because I love that. I did
If You Dare in 2010
that track as well.
10 or 11. Yeah. And then Vida Trabajo Amor in 2012. Then The Reserve. And then I moved to Nashville. And then I did Hobo Cane. And then this latest one that just came out in 2019.
Yeah. And the artwork, that's another thing. Sure. And that's why I love having some physical media. You see it on a Spotify or whatnot, but it's just you've always had great artwork on your album. So that has helped with the identity of the album as well. Sure. So that's something I've always loved.
Especially, the Hobo Cane album was painted. It's a painting by Kababi Bayok, who's a local artist who, if you know the Rainbow Children album by Prince, that's Kababi Bayok. And he actually has just done, I think he's the one that has all those murals in the History Museum. He's done so many beautiful, amazing paintings all over murals all over St. Louis, and he is one incredible artist and great person, and also has he's a great mover of civil rights or just rights for humanity in a sense. He definitely worked a lot with trying to find identity to fatherhood in the African American community. So loved working with him, and that one I wish I could have done on vinyl because it deserves but I didn't. I ran out of money on that album.
You never know. I mean, the thing is with your music, it's so timeless, and being an indie artist, it's something I think if the situation was right, something like that could happen.
No, I may release it. I may bring it back out.
It's a little different nowadays where, before it was like the music was, you were promoting it with your live shows. Now it's almost the opposite, where the music is marketing your live shows, your catalog, everything. So it's kind of a little different story these days.
It is. I'm still trying to figure that out. And how it just moves things move so quickly now.
Yeah.
And then so the new album that one I did myself, the artwork, and that was that's on vinyl, and it's cool because it's actually I like the artwork.
Yeah. Just I want to step back briefly.
Sure.
The Hobo Cane album, the song "Gold" is just one of those. When I first heard that, I get real choked up. It's just something that you look at, introspectively and say, "Wow, I have something to offer.
Right.
I need to keep pushing. There's this light inside of me that I need to shine onto the world." So that's kind of what I felt with that. And when I was listening to it, it was just like I was getting choked up, and it was just.
And I think in that case, you were right on the message, and it's actually a message directed to you. I mean, you are the artist, and when I sing that song, I usually say that to the audience, to all those artists, and I don't mean just musicians. I mean people that are trying to express themselves through the arts, whether writing, or video, or in this case, podcasts, or paintings, or whatever it may. It is a song about perseverance and realizing that you're not always going to be recognized as being doing something golden, doing something amazing. Yeah. But you have to believe it within yourself, because sometimes you are like the song says, you're broken, but the world won't make a sound. The world doesn't notice, or the world just walks right over you. But you still have to recognize you should not depend on the people's perception of you to believe in what you're doing. Yeah. You just have to believe in it. Yeah.
And the cool thing is, and I love the song so much, but that's probably a song I've only heard a couple of times, just for whatever reason. But it touched my soul so much that was just like, boom, right there. But you have to listen to that some more.
It's crazy.
It's so good.
I love doing that song almost more when I do my solo shows, because I wrote it just like that, and I love the version of the album, but I'm like, I want to release also one that is just on acoustic, and I did
I'd love to hear
just
that.
Because there's something about it that is really introspective, and so so maybe that's why because when I play here, I've been playing a lot more band shows, and I think it's just because of COVID. I'm like, I don't want to ever play a show without a drummer anymore, because you're playing at home all the time, playing these live streams by yourself. Maybe that's the case.